And I think a lot of us start off thinking, I got to do something that is exceedingly creative and fresh and new. And there's a great book written by an artist named Austin Kleon. His book is called Steal Like an Artist.
Russ Nolting, Keller Williams Colorado powerhouse, leader of 21 offices, and mentor to countless agents. Learn his secrets to leadership, growth, and building unstoppable teams.
Basically, it's a history of how the great in the arts, they start by copying and copying and copying, and then they make their tweaks until they become unique.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Van Ornum back with another episode of Scaling Up Success podcast powered by Cynergists. Cynergists is your scalable operations company that helps people grow exponentially faster at a fraction of the cost. Go check out Cynergist.com. Today, I have a friend of mine, Russ Nolting. How are you, sir? How you been?
I'm doing great, Ryan. How are you?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be you, man. You are just living the dream with everything that you got going on. But, why don't we just jump right into it and let's explain to the audience, what do you got going on, man? You got all kinds of stuff that you got going on.
I do. Got a lot of things going on. I'm the regional director of KW Colorado. I have 21 offices in Colorado that I oversee for Keller Williams. I own a couple offices in Colorado, one in Summit County that covers the Grand County, Summit County, Park County areas, Breckenridge, Winter Park, and then also another office in Vail. And so that's keeping me really busy as well.
Man, those are like the lower level of living in Colorado, by the way, if people know that's highly sarcastic, by the way, guys.
Yeah, right.
So that's upper echelon areas of Colorado. Very cool, man. I love what you do. You do it with such integrity, such passion for helping people grow. And I just wanted to be able to bring you on here and, talk about that kind of stuff. Cause you didn't start this way. And how did you build yourself up? Cause you've been doing real estate for a little bit, man, but all of a sudden, it's like the overnight success that took 10, 15 years, right?
It's true. Yeah, it often goes that way. No, I got in real estate in 1995 and I started in development. And I was at the time working in Missouri and developing farmland into estate-sized real estate parcels and doing that in an area that was about an hour outside of St. Louis. I got into residential during the Great Recession, which was a really tough time to be in residential, but it was a worse time to be in development. So I got out of development into residential, got to Keller Williams in 2010. Got into leadership at Keller Williams in 2012, all the while still selling houses and running offices. But I got out to Colorado in 2021.
Okay. So now that you're in leadership, is it a different focus in the real estate side of things, or do you still have your finger on the pulse of what's going on with, because it's such a different mindset, right, in the leadership side of things?
Yeah, I mean, it depends how you look at it. Running a real estate brokerage is not really that different than running a real estate team. Teams focus on getting listings. Brokerages focus on recruiting agents. If you want to grow a team, get more listings. If you want to grow a brokerage, get more agents. And it's really very similar in terms of skill sets. They're both sales and they both require a ton of lead generation, and they require working with people and helping and understanding what motivates them. Because just like a seller, once you know what motivates them, you can get their home sold. You can motivate an agent to move to your brokerage once you understand what motivates them. So same idea.
I definitely dig that, man. And one of the things that I see so much in real estate that is actually very open and transparent, as opposed to like some other genres of business, is about leaders or lead generation and like being able to just set aside time for that. Like how do you guys do that as a brokerage? Do you guys have like a way to make sure that people are doing the lead gen for recruitment of new agents into your brokerage?
Yeah, I think it starts. I think it really works the same way as on a as selling homes. The best sales agents in real estate get up early and they get the lead generation done because
Right.
it's like Brian Tracy's book, Eat the Frog, Eat That Frog, Eat That Frog. I think that's how it's written. The ugliest thing you got to do every day, you got to do first. And same works in a brokerage. Our best managers and team leaders, as we call them at Keller Williams, get up and the first thing they do is set their appointments and for the next day. And once they've set their appointments for the next day, they conduct their appointments that they set yesterday, and that's how you win the brokerage game. So I think it really works the same way, and it's all about getting the lead generation completed by noon.
I love that. I love that. And it's just getting the toughest thing that you got to get done out of the way, right? And then after
For
that,
sure.
it feels like the rest of the day opens up. I
Yep.
definitely dig that, man. So like, man, I real estate has changed so much over the last like, 5 to 10 years. How do
Yeah.
you guys stay ahead of industry trends?
It's a good question. For me, it's about hanging out with people that are smarter than me and people that are ahead of the curve and I do think it's kind of funny when I told you when I first got into residential I owned my own brokerage and I was the smartest guy at my brokerage. I was the dumbest guy at my brokerage because I was the only guy at my brokerage. And when you're in that sort of small contained box, it is really hard to stay ahead of things. And what I like about being part of a company that's the biggest real estate company in the world is I'm around top agents, I'm around thought leaders and coaches. I'm at events where there's updates being given and new ideas being thrown out. So I think it's just about who you're surrounding yourself with.
That's fantastic. And
By the
it's
way,
like,
I should mention, not to interrupt, but if I had been smarter, I would have gotten myself in those rooms as an independent broker when I first got into it. I don't think it required joining a different company. I think it
yeah.
just required changing my mindset about who I was surrounding myself with. So, whether it's at Inman or at a brand focused event, it's about being around smarter people.
Your network is your net worth, right? That's the way I kind of look at it in any industry now. It's like
Yeah,
who are you connecting yourself with? And maybe it's not even in your industry. Maybe it's around other people outside the industry that give you different perspectives.
100%.
Yeah. So like one of the things that I really praise you on is you have such a very strong culture in what you've built. How did you build that and maintain it?
I think a strong culture is built by sharing the vision for the company constantly. And I think about the way I run the organizations that I currently lead. My day starts out with a short huddle with my Colorado people, the people that help me run Keller Williams Colorado. We meet at 8:45 every morning. At 9 o'clock, I meet with my team in Vale. At 9:15, I meet with my team in Summit County. In the reason for that, those short little meetings, is it allows each day to start with clarity and consistency and vision and making sure that people on the team are heard and making sure that we're all on the same page. So I think cultures are built by constantly watching what's going on and being involved. I think some leaders think that they can show up once a month or once a week and make sure and hope things are reset properly, but I think it takes a lot more than that.
I would agree on that 100%. And I think you said earlier, do not be the smartest person in the room because like the people that are on my team, they're way smarter at me at what they do than I would ever be. So
Yeah,
like, and no offense, but I know some of the people on your team and they are smarter at their role than you are, sir.
for sure.
So I love what you got going on, man. I just giving you praise, man. It's really cool to see what you've been growing. So now think about this, as you got into this journey, man. Think about like, what what younger Russ, you're still young, but younger Russ is just starting out, what advice would Russ today give younger Russ?
Well, it might be a little related to what we were just talking about. I think you start with who and not how. A
Sure.
lot of people, especially when they're young, they're trying to figure out, how am I going to build this business? How am I going to do whatever it is that I've involved myself in? I've got four kids, and two of them graduated college this summer. In fact, I just got back from Scotland yesterday, attending number three's graduation. And as they're starting their careers, we're having conversations about who are you going to surround yourself with. And one of them is wants to be a Broadway star, and the other is an academic. And it's really about surround yourself with the right people early, and build your business with leverage in mind from the beginning, or build your career with leverage in mind from the beginning, because life is about copying other people and making iterations. It's not about reinventing the wheel. And I think a lot of us start off thinking, I got to do something that is exceedingly creative and fresh and new. And there's a great book written by an artist named Austin Kleon, and his book is called Steal Like an Artist. And it basically is a history of how the greats in the arts, especially, they start by copying and copying and copying, and then they make their tweaks until they become unique. So my advice would be, long answer, start with who, not how.
I love it. That is, you know, very poignant advice, man. So now conversely, I mean, you don't ever seem to slow down. So where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
It's a good question. I think in this phase of my life, I'm looking at more market centers to own, more real estate offices to own. I still believe that there is a place in this industry for brick and mortar. We're an industry that about 10 years ago started saying brick and mortar is not as important, and maybe we can move faster virtually. And I think while there is a place for that, it doesn't work perfectly. And I think there is a way to make real estate office ownership work. I'm looking at areas in Colorado, looking at Aspen specifically right now as a potential place to grow. So for me, I think more of what I'm doing right now is what's next for me.
Fantastic. And I love that you're constantly have that vision, and it's like reevaluating the vision all the time, man. Because like you just don't set it and forget it, right?
Yeah, true.
So, well, thank you for all of that. Is you ready for a little rapid fire kind of questioning?
Sure.
All right, let's go. So, what book are you reading, or what's your favorite podcast?
Book that I'm rereading right now is The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham.
Love it. Awesome. What about, do you have a bucket list travel spot?
I just got back from Amsterdam. I was in Scotland and Amsterdam and Belgium. Didn't love it. I can't stop loving Italy. We go about once a year, once every 18 months. And I know that it's not bucket list if you've gone, but it's like my favorite place to be.
That is so cool. That is so cool. What's on your workout playlist?
I don't listen to music when I work out.
So I'm just gonna put that down as Taylor Swift. It's okay.
If I'm listening to something other than the noise in the gym, I'm probably catching up on the news,
Okay.
on cable news.
Cool. Very cool. Are you a coffee, tea, soda, energy drink? What are you down in?
Black coffee and sparkling water. I love sparkling water.
Okay. Do you have an adult beverage of choice?
Don't use them.
Okay. All right. Cool. You got a favorite cheat meal?
Favorite cheat meal, probably guacamole and chips.
Man, there you go. I like it. And I'm guessing this one, I probably know the answer, but early bird or night owl?
Total early bird. In
That's
bed
what I was
at
thinking.
8:30, up at 4:30 is my typical.
Man, you came through with flying colors of the rapid fire, section of the podcast, man. Thank you for that. And so if people are interested in and whether it's getting into real estate with you or being a
Yeah.
part of your brokerages, how can they get a hold of you, man?
My name, Russ.Nolting at kw.com or russnolting.com for info about me. That's the best way to get a hold of me.
Fantastic. Awesome, man. This was great to have you on. It flew by, man, and always a pleasure getting to catch up with you. Tons of respect for you, and best of luck in all your future endeavors, my friend.
Appreciate it. Take care, Ryan.
Absolutely. Once again, Ryan Van Ornum with the Scaling Up Success podcast, powered by Cynergists. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.